In this video, we are going to do these three questions, and in fact, these are word problems, which is based on quadratic equation, right? That is for the four, chapter 4, class 10. So let's begin with solving this question. This word problem from the chapter quadratic equation. It says sum of the areas of two square is how much? 468 meters square. And if the difference of their perimeter is 24, what we have to find out is the sides of the two square. So what we can do over here, let's say if I make two square over here, this is say first one I made, and I'm going to make the other one bigger than the other. Let's say I take the side of the square as x and this being the other one as y. Clearly x is greater than y. We have to find their area also. We need a relation of area. So area of a square is what? X square, side square. So area of the other square will be y square. Further, I can see we also have to deal with their perimeters. So we can say the perimeter is what? 4 into side, right? So 4x is the perimeter of this. And for this figure, the perimeter will be what? 4y. That's the perimeter. Let's use the first relation over here. It says the sum of their areas of their square. So area of the first square is x square. The other as y square is equal to 468. Right. That's the first relation we get. And the second is what? If the difference of their perimeter. So difference is what? Bigger minus smaller. So the bigger perimeter or the larger one is what? 4x minus 4y is equal to 24. The second relation. Further, I can see it can be reduced by taking x common. So taking x common and dividing 24 with, taking 4 common and dividing 24 with 4, we get 6. We can see that we need a substitution here. That's why I'm writing x in terms of y. So x can be written as y plus 6. Now check from here. We are going to replace this x over here. I'm going to replace this x in this equation, that is in the first equation. So from the first equation, what you can observe from the first, that means from here. So this x I'm replacing with y plus 6. So it's going to give us y plus 6 whole square plus y square. This is y square is equal to, this is 468. So we are going to apply a plus b whole square over here. On applying this a plus b whole square, what we will get? This is first is a square, that is y square. This is y square plus 2 times the product of this, and that is how much? 12y plus 6 square is 36 plus y square is equal to 468. Now check, we have y square and y square, that is 2 times y square. This is 2y square plus 12y. And if I transpose this to the left hand side, so it will be subtracted. So 8 minus 6 is how much? 2. 6 minus 3 is 3. And so this is what we'll get. Now for the further simplification, I can see we can take out 2 common from here. So this will give you what? Y square plus 6y, and this is minus 3, sorry, 216 equals 0. Now from the factors of 216, we have to split the middle term. So this is what? This you can see that 216 is actually 6 into 6 into 6. So I can write this 6 as 3 into 2, 3 into 2, 6 into 3 is how much? 18, and 6 into 2 is 12. Yes, we got it. So we can write this 6y as 18y minus 12y minus 216 equals 0. Now you can see y is common from the first two terms. So y plus 18. And from the other, I can take 12 common. So that's also should give you y plus 18 equals 0. So we have two factors as y plus 18, and other is y minus 12 equals 0. Equating this with 0, we get y as what? Minus 18. And equating this with 0, we are getting y as 12. So clearly, this is dimension and cannot be negative. So only this is correct. But then what we have to find out is the sides of the square. We got the side of one square, so we need the other also. So for that, we can use this equation, or say maybe this one. So from here, what you can see that x is how much? Y plus 6, and y is 12. So 12 plus 6, that is how much? 18. Yes, so the dimensions we had to get, and the two dimensions we got are, these are 12 and the other is 18 centimeter. But you have to write down in centimeter. No, it's meters. So you have to write down 12 meter and 18 meter as the final answer. That's 12 meter and 18 meter. That's how we will do this question. In this word problem from the chapter quadratic equation, it says the difference of the squares of two number is 180 and the square of the smaller number is 8 times the larger number. And what we have to find out are the two numbers. So we'll begin with writing the statement that let the two numbers, I took the two numbers as x and y, and where it's important to remember one is greater than the other. So I took x being greater than y, right? So first is what the first relation if I use, that is the difference of the squares of the two number is 180. Since x is bigger, so that means x square minus y square is equal to 180. That's the first relation we have for x and y. Now further it says the square of the smaller number is 8 times. Look into this. It is 8 times, only 8 times, right? 8 times the larger number and not 8 times the square of the larger number. So one more time, square of the smaller number. Smaller number is y, what? Y. So y square is equal to 8 times the larger number and not 8 times x square, right? It should be 8 times this. So now we can do substitution over here. What we are going to do is to replace y square. Directly we can replace y square, right? We can see that we have same y square over here. So if I replace this y square, so what we are going to get? So this is x square as it is. I'm going to replace y square with 8x, and then I'm transposing this 180 to the left hand side. Minus 180 equals 0. From the factors of 180 we need 8. So it's very easy, right? 18 into 10 minus 8x plus 10x plus 180 equals 0. So common from the first two term is what? X. So it's x minus 18, and common from the last two term is how much? Again 10. But then that was minus 180. Yeah, this is minus 180, right? Okay, so this is now x minus 18. So I can write over here. So if I take x minus 18 as common, that should give you how much? X plus 10 equals 0. Equating this with 0, what we are getting? We are getting x as 18, and equating this with 0, we can get minus 10. So they are just talking about two numbers. They haven't talked about the positive or negative, right? Nowhere it is written. So we can take both the values as of now. Now what we have to find out is the two number. Let's say if I start with this, if I take x as 10, then what is y from here? So y square is how much? 8 times 18, right? So y square is 8 times 18. So 8 into 8 is 64. That is 144. So that means y can have two positive two values, that is plus minus 12, right, for this part. And now check here. If I take y square from here again, 8 times 8 times minus 10. So y square comes out to be what? Minus 180. Not possible, right? Square of a number cannot be negative. So we'll discard this value. It's not possible. Now for finding out x and y, we can now say x is equal to 18, right? Then y can have x is 18 only, and y can be 12 or minus 12, right? Because we can see that y can be. So this is what the possible values. We should write like this: 18, 18, 12 or 18 minus 12. Right? That should be the two numbers. In this question, it says diagonal of a rectangular field is 60 meters more than the shorter side. So the first thing that we can do is to make a rectangle, and say if I name it as A, B, C, D, and they are talking about a diagonal. So let's join any of the opposite vertex. Say I join BD here, keeping in mind that each angle of a rectangle is 90 degree. Further, it says that if the longer side is 30 meter more than the shorter side, so what we are going to do is to take the shorter side as x, right? So this means the longer side, that is the length over here, is x plus 30, all right? Further, the first statement was what? If I read it again, it says the diagonal of a rectangular field is 60 meter more. That means its diagonal is 60 meter more than the shorter side. Well, shorter side is x, so clearly the diagonal is going to be x plus 60. And then what we have to find out is the sides. Right? We have to find the sides of this rectangular field. So for that, we are going to apply the Pythagoras theorem in this triangle. Now we know that each angle of a each angle of a square is 90 degrees. So if I apply this Pythagoras over here, so it's what the square of the hypotenuse should be equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So it should be DC square plus BC square. And we can plug in DC as how much? It is x plus 60 whole square. The length of DC is how much? X plus 30 whole square. And BC is how much? BC is x, so it's x square only. Now I'll be applying a plus b whole square over here on the expansion. This is a square plus 2 times product of these two, which is 120 times x, plus b, which is 6. 6 square is how much? 3600. On the other side, we are doing the expansion of this. So this is going to be what? X square plus, this is 2 times AB, which is how much? 60x, right? Plus 30 square is 900. And plus we have one more x square over here. So what do we know? That opposite side, same sign get cancelled. So we can cancel one of this. And if I rewrite this equation in the standard form, let's say I wrote this x square first on the right hand side. And transposing this to the left hand side is going to be how much? Minus 60x. Transposing this to the other side, that is 3600 to the other side, it should result to give you minus 2700 is equal to 0. Now from here, we have to factorize. We are going to do middle term splitting. So you can see that, observe over here, there are two zeros over here. There are two zeros over here and 1 0 over here. I mean, ordinarily it can become difficult while factorizing such big numbers. So if you have, if this is ending with two zeros and this is ending with 1 0, you can temporarily ignore these zeros and just obtain 6 from 27. So if I factorize, I can see that 27 can be split as how much? 9 into 3. So this is what we are going to do over here. We are going to factorize like this. So this is x square. As I said, I'm just taking 9. So 90x, we are replacing, as we have ignored 0 temporarily, and this can be written as 30x. Minus 90 plus 30 should give you how much? Minus 60 minus 2700 equals 0. Now check, if I take x common from the first two term, we are going to get x minus 90. And if you are taking 30 common, we are going to get x minus 90 equals 0. Now, so taking x minus 90 common from the whole, we get x minus 90 and x plus 30 equals 0. Equating this with 0, we are going to get x as what? 90. And equating this with 0, we are going to get x as how much? Minus 30. Now check, this cannot be possible, as you know, dimension cannot be negative. So we will discard this value. So we can say that at the end we got x as 90, right? So we had to get the side dimensions. So we can say the dimensions are how much? This is 90. And this should be how much? 90 plus 30, that is 120 meter. So the field's sides is what we have to say. So we'll say that it is 90 and 120 meter.